What's happening? Good morning, you guys. Okay, kicking things off in the Atlantic after what has been such a tumultuous Atlantic hurricane season. It has been relatively quiet over the last week or so, but we have our next possible disturbance that is sitting in the Caribbean Sea. It's just south of Cuba this morning, this mess of clouds you see here. This is going to interact with this frontal system that's moving its way to the eastward, and it is possible by the time we hit the weekend that we could see the formation of a tropical depression. For this to get a name, it would have to strengthen into a tropical storm, and if it did, it would get the name Gamma. Now, the most comparable year to 2020 in terms of Atlantic hurricanes is 2005. That year, there was a Gamma, but it took until November 13th before it formed. So the fact that it's September 30th right now, and I'm talking about the possibility of that, shows you how far ahead of schedule we are right now. Just a reminder, hurricane season goes until November. In 2005, we saw storms forming into December. So it doesn't always play by the rules. As we slide over to the Pacific, we do have a tropical storm right now. It's Maria. It is going to strengthen into a hurricane likely through today, possibly reaching major hurricane status as we go towards the end of the week. Right now, it's going to move its way up towards the northwest. There's no major impact on land. So yes, it will be a major hurricane, but if it doesn't move its way on shore, it'll just look real pretty on satellite picture. Now, in terms of here at home, we've got two very different weather stories. The coasts are the hottest. The interior of our country is much cooler. Now, often the water acts as a moderating influence on the forecast. So for both the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean, those coastlines often see the smallest annual temperature range. You don't get a lot of variation in the temperature. Through the interior of the country, the farther away you get from the water, the wilder your temperature swings can be. So when we have the hottest temperature on either coastline, it is a bit unusual. What's happening is that we're dominated by an upper trough through parts of Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, and Labrador, and that's causing the temperature to drop. For some, like Toronto, that is actually seasonal to see 18 degrees, but compare that to the 20s that we have on either coastline, plus the added humidex values on top of that. We are seeing a lot of active weather. If you're waking up in Montreal towards Quebec City, you are under rainfall warnings. The rain will be heaviest this morning. This afternoon, it's more thunderstormy than anything. For Atlantic Canada, the winds are going to increase as the day goes on. This is a cold front, and it's sliding eastward into the Atlantic region for the afternoon. Today is unsettled across Ontario and Quebec. It will be very windy. It is very possible we'll be talking thunderstorms. Some of those could become severe. The big thing we'll be watching for would be the elevated wind gusts and heavy isolated downpours. It's foggy on the west coast. This is going to contribute to extended humidity later on. Heads up, possibly seeing some flow from California into Vancouver Island later on. Could be a little bit smoky to round out your day. We'll slide over to Atlantic Canada. You're going to have a hot, humid day ahead, but it is going to get wet as that cold front rolls through tonight. Your morning will be right back after this. Stay with us.
Your morning is brought to you in part by new Tim's Cravables, 100% Canadian.